On the topic of all of these mass deportations, if you do support your local ICE raids, this should incense you, okay? Because the American people voted. There was a mandate for mass deportations. We said, we know this is probably not safe. We should not do this anymore. And in the midst of Donald Trump empowering the right people, Tom Homan for starters, to go ahead and start getting all of these illegals and rounding them up, sending them on a plane back to their country, repatriating them. As he's doing that, we find out that the details of some of these ICE raids have leaked to the press. So now some of this has been compromised. Now, how specific is the leaked information? And, you may be asking like, well, is it actually helping immigrants evade capture? Well, the latest leak from the LA Times said that federal law enforcement agents are planning to carry out a large-scale immigration enforcement action in the Los Angeles area before the end of February, according to an internal government document reviewed by the Times. Well, yeah, obviously that would affect it. And here's how. Let's go back to how the recent Denver raids were compromised. OK, ICE was targeting the arrest of over 100 members of course, the violent Venezuelan gang Tren de Aragua, which, remember, didn't exist, wasn't a problem, weren't taking over apartment complexes until they were. That gang. That very same gang, okay? So it said that ICE was targeting the arrest of over 100 members of this very violent gang, but their operation yielded the arrest of just one alleged gang member. Well, how did that happen? How did that happen? And by the way, shouldn't we all be in on removing violent gang members from our country? Like, shouldn't that be something that, maybe the mainstream media, the LA Times, the Denver, whatever the hell their newspaper is, like, shouldn't we all be bought in on removing violent gang members? Like, you can talk to me about your immigration policy all damn day if you're a bleeding heart liberal and you just want people who are in search for a better life to be able to come here. But there's like literally zero argument for removing a violent gang member who shouldn't be here from our country. And yet, this operation yielded the arrest of just one alleged gang member. Let's go to Chicago. Over at their compromised raid, ICE positioned 100 agents at the targeted position, but they made only 2 arrests after 5 hours on the ground. Well, how would that happen? How would that be the case? And, I would say the consequences aren't all bad because the financial damage from these leaks are obviously going to burden the Democrats. I want to play for you. This is, usually I say John Cornyn is the biggest embarrassment of the state of Texas. And I do stand by that. I still believe that that's true. But a very close second is the Texas Democrat representative, Jasmine Crockett, who recently talked about the financial cost of all of these raids. Watch.
I want people to understand that undocumented folk in this country contribute approximately $100 billion in taxes, and they pay into Social Security that they can't pull down on. So you tell me how any of this makes sense, because the estimation is that it would cost us approximately $200 billion in the first year to try to effectuate this. And we know the Republicans are proposing that ICE be given approximately $350 billion. And right now that's causing a lot of consternation within the Republican caucus. And that is why we are headed to a shutdown on March 14th, because instead of cutting money, it looks like they are absolutely going to need more money.
Oh, I think maybe that was her SAT word of the day, consternation. She just learned that like 5 minutes before she went on with Rachel Maddow. Or maybe it was Chris Hayes. I'm sorry. I get the two confused. So Jasmine Crockett acknowledging this is costing money. We're going to remove the criminals from our streets regardless. So you want to cost the American taxpayer more money? I mean, probably. Because you already have them crying and screaming and throwing toddler temper tantrums because Doge is eliminating fraud and waste and corruption. So probably they do want to spend more of your money. That shouldn't be surprising at all. But let's talk about who's behind it. Okay, who is behind all of these leaks and why would they want to do this? I want to show you what Kristi Noem, Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem, is speculating here, because they clearly have decided that this is the FBI. She said the FBI is so corrupt, we will work with any and every agency to stop leaks and prosecute these crooked deep state agents to the fullest extent of the law. And so it was like, oh, I guess she knows something we don't, because it sounds a whole hell of a lot like she just accused the FBI of being the ones to leak this private information, this government information to the mainstream media. And last night, we also had border czar Tom Homan, who basically agreed with Homeland Security and Kristi Noem that this is coming from the FBI. Watch.
Tom, where are these leaks coming from?
We think it's coming from inside. And we know the first leak of Aurora is under current investigation. We think we identified that person under investigation right now. The California leak, Secretary Noem, she's correct. Some of the information we're receiving tends to lead toward the FBI. But I talked to the Deputy Attorney General all this weekend. They've opened up a criminal investigation, and they have promised that not only this person lose their job and lose their pension, they're going to go to jail. They're going to criminally prosecute. So we're all over it. We got the DHS IG investigating the first one. I have a pretty good idea what happened. Can't share a lot because it's under investigation, but the IG's opened up a criminal investigation on the second one. We're sending a strong message. It's just not, giving the bad guys a heads up so they can escape apprehension. We're arresting, giving, the Venezuela gang a heads up so we can't arrest them. You're putting officers' lives at risk. It's only a matter of time if we walk into a place where there's going to be a bad guy doesn't care. He's going to be sitting and wait for the officers to show up and ambush them. This is not a game. So DHS and DOJ are connected at hip to hold these people responsible in a criminal fashion.
Again, this was a mandate given from the American people in November. We are done with your open borders bullshit. We're done with it. We want these people to go back home. They don't belong here. They're not assimilating. They are criminals. Yes, they are criminals, all of them, because they're all, if you are here illegally, you are already a criminal. Okay? So whoever this is should be deported with all of the illegals. If you want to be on their side and you want to be for them, you are more than welcome to pack your bags and go with them to wherever their home country is. If you want to support them. And by the way, bring your savings and you can go support them in their home country. You want to support MS-13 gang members? You want to support Tren de Aragua? Go ahead. Go with them back home and you're welcome to do that. It's total insanity. From the left cannot stand the fact that Donald Trump came in here clear-eyed, knowing what needed to be done. He told the American people exactly what he was going to do, and now he's doing it, and they can't stand it. They can't stand that he has the hindsight. Hindsight was 20/20 with him in the first term. Now he knows, we're not tolerating leaks. We're not tolerating anonymous op-eds. We're not tolerating this. I am the commander-in-chief. The American people elected me to lead them, and I make the rules here, not you. If you like this clip and you want to see the full episode, click here. And if you want to subscribe to the channel, come on, you know you do. Click here.